الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وطهير قلوبنا مولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. صلوات So in our discussion about faith and reasoning, we have discussed so many steps. First, the need of following a religion, then existence of the Creator, oneness of Creator, justice of the Creator, and He is Allah. And then the demand of His justice to send books and prophets for our guidance. So we talked about prophet. So Tawheed, which is oneness, and before Tawheed, we discussed all those necessary points that we need to understand the religion. And then after Tawheed, his Adl and Nubuwwat, which is prophethood. And yesterday we discussed the importance of guidance, continuation of guidance after the Prophet himself. So the Prophet is a guide from Allah. He appointed him, and the evidence for that is Book of Allah as a miracle, and this says that miracle is still there. So today we can show that miracle. We can see that miracle by ourselves, and once we know that this is a miracle and this is not ordinary book, this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From here, now we have two references for our discussion. Before, we were talking only based on common sense, logic and reasoning. Now we have two things to talk about. One, common sense, and one, reasoning. Why? Because after Quran, once we know the Quran is a miracle, and through Quran we knew that whatever we believe in, before this, everything is based on logic and reasoning. And Quran also, which is Book of God, Book of Allah, is supporting all what we discussed before. From now, when we discuss more, for example, we discuss the continuation of the guidance, how we will seek guidance after the Prophet, how we understand Quran, because Quran alone is not going to guide us, because it has ambiguous ayat too, as Quran is mentioned by itself. We discussed that last night. So Quran needs someone who can explain Quran for us. In the time of the Prophet, he himself was the one who was explaining the Quran. After him, who should explain Quran? We have no right to appoint somebody, we have no right to go to somebody, but we have to ask Prophet himself. I say, Ya Rasulullah, in your time, you were the person who would explain Quran. If anybody had any question about Quran, you would explain it. After you, who is going to be the person who will explain Quran? So he said, I am leaving two things behind: Quran and Hadith. This is what we discussed last time. So Imamat is proven by reason and by revelation both. Through Quran, there are several ayat in Quran that leads us towards the reality and the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed leaders for Ummah for after the Prophet. And we have evidence from the history and book of Hadith that the Prophet also appointed Imam Ali alayhi salam as his successor. If somebody denies that, so we'll go based on Quran and reasoning both. Again, we can prove that only Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam is the one who can lead the nation after the Prophet. So, Quran says, Quran is giving us criteria for that. Like when the angel said, "Oh Allah, are you going to appoint your vicegerent Adam as somebody who is going to shed blood and commit mischief?" So Allah did not say that no, he is not the person you are thinking of. He is not a mischievous person. He is not going to shed blood. Rather, he said, "Okay, let me test both of you." And he took the test, and Adam alayhi salam, he passed the test. As soon as he passed the test, Allah said, "See, I told you, I know what you don't know. So I selected him because of his knowledge." So here, Quran is giving us the criterion for leadership, for khilafat, is knowledge. Now ask any Muslim in the world, tell us, who was the most knowledgeable person after Rasulullah? You tell us. Come on, you name somebody. Let's hear your name. Who was the person who was the most knowledgeable? You say, "Oh, Rasulullah did not appoint anybody." Fine. Who will appoint? Ummah. Okay, fine. Ummah. Let's say that Ummah is going to select. Quran is giving us the criteria. First, in the story of angels, then in the same Surah Baqarah, the story of Talut and Jalut. Right? When he said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed Talut as the leader, as the king, and they said, "How can he be a king while he has no money? We have money." Allah said, "Money is not the reason or is not the criterion for leadership." Then what? Inna Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala istafahu alaykum wa zadahu basbatan fil ilmi wal jism. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him ilm and bravery. He is the bravest person among you, and he is the most knowledgeable person among you. So this is the criterion for leadership according to Quran. Now tell me, if Rasulullah did not appoint anybody and you want to select anyone, who you will select? Are you going to select based on Quranic criteria, or you are going to make your own criteria? You will say, of course, Quran. If Quran says the person who is the most brave person among you and the person who is the most knowledgeable person among you, he is going to be the leader. Tell me, any Muslim, please, who was? You tell me. You name anybody. Who was the most knowledgeable person? Everyone unanimously will name only one person, and the name is what? Ali ibn Abi Talib. Any dispute on this fact? No. Even the enemies of Ali ibn Abi Talib will say no. He is the most knowledgeable person. Okay, tell me, who is the most brave and courageous person in the entire Ummah? Do you have any name? No. Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he is the most courageous, he is the most knowledgeable. All the criteria that Quran is mentioning, he is possessing those qualities. Then who should be the leader? So anyway, in whatever manner you will calculate, you will find that Imam Ali alayhi salam should be the leader after Rasulullah immediately, without gap. And this is what called bila fasl. It should be bila fasl, without any gap in between. Why? Because the criteria is there. So we say Allah appointed him. Some people say Allah did not appoint. If they say Allah did not appoint or Rasulullah did not name anyone as a Khalifa, but Quran is giving us the criteria. So simple, right? This is from Quran. How about logically? Who should be the leader? Logically, right? Based on reason. Why? Because we have two references now. One Quran and one reason. Based on common sense, who's supposed to be the leader after Rasulullah? Who should be the Imam? Who should be the Khalifa? So what does Khalifa mean? Khalifa mean successor. What does successor mean? Somebody is sitting here, he is not there, somebody else is coming and sitting in his place. This is called successor, right? Why should he sit there? To do the same job, to do the same work that he was doing. This is called successor. So simple and easy. It's not rocket science to go and discuss that, right? It's so simple to understand. So successor is the person. For example, you have a doctor, right, in your city. That doctor want to go for a month somewhere. He's taking off for 1 month. Who will sit on his place? A doctor? Or you ask me to sit on his place? Mulana, can you sit here? You know what will happen. I cannot sit on his place because he's a doctor. So for doctor, you need a doctor to sit there. Even not every doctor. If he's a surgeon, for example, so a dentist cannot sit on his place. Can he? No. If the dentist is not there, who will sit in his place? So, you see, the new dentist, he uses those small equipments, right? So, say, let's bring someone who uses heavy equipments. Who? Blacksmith, right? You know blacksmith? Lohar, usko bitha. Let him sit there. Then what will happen? Na maraz rahega, na mariz, right? So both are gone. Neither the sick or no sickness. So everybody who has a common sense, he will agree that on the place of dentist, a dentist should sit. A doctor should sit. If Maulana is not there, who should sit? Here everybody can sit. This is the only place everybody can sit. No. On the place of Maulana, only Maulana. Same qualification. So whatever the qualification is and whatever the job description is, it should remain the same. Description should remain the same. Even you cannot change the name. He's a doctor. You cannot say doctor. He is, has same qualification, but he is not a doctor. He has qualification in other field. What is that? Engineer. No. Doctor. Name the same word. You have to use the same word, same title, right? That's why the Prophet, when he announced, he did not even change the title. He said, "Man kuntu mawla, fahada aliyun mawla." I am a mawla. In the place of mawla, who will come and sit? A person who can be mawla. And no one is mawla but Imam Ali.
हर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंद सलावत अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद।
And this should continue even after him. Not just Imam Ali, a person who will sit in the place of Imam Ali, You should have the same knowledge, same bravery, same qualities. Imam Hassan, the person who sits in his place, same thing. Until the last Imam. Imam Zaman Ajjalallahu Ta'ala. So how many Imams do we have? 12. Why 12? Why not 13? Why not 11? This is because the Prophet said there should be 11. There should be 12. This is what he said. How you can say that? It is in Bukhari, it is in Muslim, it is in our books, in our brother's book. All Muslims agree that the Prophet said there will be 12 Amir or 12 Khalifa or 12 Imams after me. He said 12. He did not say 13. He did not say 1 or 3 or 5. No. Only 12 is what he said. So when he is announcing that after me there should be 12, now every Muslim should go and make a list of those 12 people who are the successors of the Rasulullah. You cannot make it 13, you can make it 11. Give us the list of 12. Do you have the list of 12? If you don't have the list of 12, it means you are not listening to Rasulullah. And the person who doesn't listen to Rasulullah, what Quran says about him? Istajibu lillahi wa lirrasuli idha da'akum lima yuhyikum. Whatever the Prophet said, you have to listen to him. Why? Because whatever he is saying, he is giving you life actually. And he is speaking not out of his own desires, but from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when it is from Allah, so the number 12 comes from Allah. Number 12 is coming from Allah. So this is your homework to go and find out, first of all, is really truly the Prophet used this number 12? If you find, yes, he said 12. Wow, amazing, I didn't know. He said 12. And very authentic, most authentic books. When he said 12, then let me check. Who are those 12? You will be amazed by finding various lists through different scholars, and among that list, you will find names that you will be really shocked. Like the name of Yazid. Yeah, in the list of 12. They say, yeah, he said 12, but 12 means the people who were the most powerful, had more power as Khalifa. Subhanallah. Rasulullah cares about power like Yazid, and he's mentioning that there will be 12 Amir after me. لا ينقضي هذا الأمر حتى يمضي فيهم 12 Khalifa. This Islam will remain alive until there will come 12 Amirs, 12 Imams. So Islam will remain until 12. Is he referring to Yazid? That Islam will remain until Yazid will be there as the 6th Khalifa? Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu. So this is up to you, brothers and sisters, but this is what it is. This is the truth. People don't tell you, people don't say it. Why are you hiding it? When he said 12, people ask us, why you have 12 Imams? We should ask you, why you don't have 12 Imams? Instead, we ask you, come and ask me, ask. There are 12. It's mentioned, as I said, in Bukhari and in Muslim. Go and find it out. If there is really no number 12, then fine. I will take my word back. Not just, I will take my word back. Whatever whatever you decide about me, I will accept it. This is the challenge. So you will find it. This is true. So the conclusion is, Allah is one. Allah is just. Allah sent prophets. Allah sent Quran. Quran is a miracle. After Rasulullah, Ahlul Bayt are the only people who can explain Quran, and they are with Quran. After Rasulullah, the true successors based on Quran and logic and common sense is Imam Ali alayhi salam. And Imam Ali is not alone the only Imam and successor of Rasulullah, but there are 12 according to Rasulullah. So we reached until here. Right? If you have any question, I will be there inshallah, or you can call me, text me, email me.
Allah